This is an excerpt from our movie and entertainment podcast, Couch Potato Saga in the Morning. You can find us through the links in the description. The Witch takes place in the 17th century as a Puritan family is banished from a settlement and they go out to live in the wilderness. And they encounter out in that wilderness a witch that terrorizes them and tears their family apart. So what was your opinion of this movie, Patrick?
This movie, I love this movie. Maybe a little biased since I've, grown up on those kind of folk tales, especially in New England, where I have a lot of family.
A New England
yeah.
folk tale or something.
When I saw that when the title scene, I knew I was going to like it, just because that's stuff that interests me at a personal level. But I thought it was well done. I loved it. Writing was good. Perfect blend of just tension and eeriness. A feeling of being uncomfortable. Not scared, that's the wrong word, just uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's being marketed kind of as like this super scary movie, but I think that's kind of a mistake, and I think that's kind of what's leading to some of the mixed reactions to this, because it's about kind of a sense of unease, and it's as much about the family falling apart as it is about supernatural, freaky shit going on, though there is some of that in here.
Yeah, I would almost say it feels more about the family.
Yeah.
At root, it feels more of a family story than it does The Witch, but...
Yeah, and I guess I saw this article that I saw retweeted by, I think it was Guillermo del Toro, and it talked about, among other things, how we define horror movies, and some people define horror movies purely in the sense of how scared am I, and I think that's kind of a narrow definition. I think the genre can accommodate something that's just built around creating tension and unease and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know, at first I kind of was just I enjoyed that movie a lot. I don't know if I call it a horror movie though, but I'm just but what would I call it then?
Yeah. It was some fucked up horror shit happens.
Yeah.
I feel like the situation that they're in, placing yourself in the position of the family, is probably 10 times more terrifying than any other horror movie you'd see. It's just so evil.
Yeah. Just the whole thing. I've also seen the Witch. I don't want to go into too many spoilers about this, but I guess if you are planning on seeing this movie, you probably should be warned. It's not going to be the scariest thing you've ever seen, but the Witch is...
Well, I don't think that's a spoiler. I think that's a vital thing you should know going into this. Otherwise, you might go in with the wrong expectations.
Yeah, but it's much less the Witch is a threat than the main threat, or it's more so she's the catalyst for just turning this entire family against each other.
Yeah, it bubbles to the surface all these issues they've been having, I guess, which is fine. I think. I thought it was a good source of drama, and
yeah, no, I agree.
The guy who made this movie directed the shit out of this movie because it looks great.
Yes, this was I got some Revenant vibes from it, and then I figured out this was done with the whole natural lighting thing is same as the Revenant, so I was that explains it. And
also, on a note on that, I was reading an interview with the director who said that in the audition process, if nobody, you know how they had the accents,
yes.
They spoke in that 17th century language, that during the audition process, he wouldn't even consider someone who couldn't get it naturally, because he wanted it to be as natural as possible, so he only would consider the people that could do it without coaching.
Yeah, that's another thing I guess people should know going into this movie, is that it uses kind of the dialect of the time.
Yeah, it's a lot of thous, a lot of...
But I could understand it pretty well, so it's not...
I've heard people... I had no issue understanding it. I caught all the dialogue, but I have heard that as a complaint of I couldn't understand the dialogue. I don't know how viable that complaint is, just because that just wasn't my experience with it, but I didn't think it was an issue.
Yeah. I thought the acting was good.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of kid actors in this movie, and they kind of all kill it, which is surprising.
Yeah. Also, I liked the dad because of his voice.
Oh, yes. Stern Dad was one of my favorite characters.
It was just funny because I saw he's in the British version of The Office, and he sounds like that. And I was hey, it's that guy.
Yes.
He's also in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I couldn't figure out who he played. It was just on his IMDb. It said Guardians of the Galaxy, and I tried looking for him. Who was he? But I couldn't find it. I don't know who he was.
Just one of Merle's crew or something.
Yeah.
But that guy and Beanie Kid, holy shit.
Also, I didn't know they had beanies back then, but I don't know. At the end of the movie, they said this was all based on like extensive research or whatever. So
Yeah,
sure,
so just take their word for it.
Yeah, I don't really care. I like the BD Kid. I liked his hat.
I'll defer to you guys. Yeah, so I think the movie has some interesting themes, I guess, about like, I don't know, I guess you could sort of interpret it as like coming into womanhood, I guess, or like what faith means and how people are sort of repressed by faith or whatever, and they maybe use God as an excuse to blame each other. And so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess the movie, if you're not into that shit, then that might be another stumbling block, I guess. Also, the first act is a little bit slow, I thought.
Yeah, especially when you don't know exactly what the movie is going
It takes
for
a
yet.
while to get into it. This is a slow burn.
It's a slow burn, but once it starts burning, it's burning.
Oh yeah.
I'll say that.
When shit starts happening, it moves.
Yeah.
There were several scenes in the movie where I just had my hand over my mouth, just like, oh god, this is.
Yeah, there was one scene in particular involved kind of an exorcism type thing that just the tension in that scene, there was some silence with this child just kind of talking, and just the whole vibe of it just scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, and
It was so peaceful and so chaotic at the same time that it just left you feeling disturbed.
Yeah, because you couldn't tell. Like, I didn't know if this kid was just at peace or it was just like this demented, like, fake peace.
yeah, and they do a really good job of conveying that tone, especially as it goes along and things just really start to unravel, and you just get these really disturbing images that, like we said, aren't necessarily terrifying in the traditional sense, but like they are definitely unsettling.
Yes. So I feel like we need to talk about this. The general movie going audience
Mm-hmm.
is
And some grumbling about
reaction to this.
I wouldn't even say mismarketed, because when you watch the trailer, you see like, yeah, okay, it's a period piece. So when you have these people going in there expecting one thing and then they're angry about it, it's like, well, what were you expecting when you got into this?
I think that is kind of a problem with the horror audience in general, honestly, is this kind of narrow definition of what should be horror and like how many scares per minute you're owed by a movie, I guess.
Yeah, the horror film genre is weird. The fans from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, because I've noticed this a lot from the general consensus of like this movie of just almost everybody is just talking about like how people are walking out of their theater. We went and saw this movie and some chick at the end of it was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
And people are like talking about how people are just kind of grumbling when they're leaving, and there's a lot of people in the theaters not enjoying this film, and I'm not quite sure what the issue is.
And it's not like it's not like it doesn't deliver on like some of the fucked up horror stuff, because
like shit happens in this movie.
Yeah, this isn't a movie where nothing happens. Like some shit goes down in this movie and like kind of crazy ways.
Like I don't think it's the ending. Like I cannot see an ending that someone would prefer other than the ending we got.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I can kind of maybe buy that, like, horror doesn't always hit people the right way, but this isn't like the movie wasn't trying, you know? Like, it wasn't really doing jump scares and stuff, but I don't think you're required to do jump scares to make a good movie, and, like, I think it succeeds at building that tension.
I mean, I feel like we got like pretty decent theaters in comparison, because I've heard a lot of people talking about how they had people in their theater laughing.
Yeah, I didn't have anybody doing that. No, I did have somebody laugh at the end of the whole thing and being
That
like...
made me mad. Oh, that would bother me.
Well, I mean, like, literally once it was over, it was like laughter, and then we paid money for this shit, and...
Yeah, that would bother me.
Yeah, it's just, it's always that. It's just, you're always just here, I don't know, the whole, oh, I paid money for this? It's just like, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't want to go too deep into, like, complaining about what other people think, but
It's very odd.
It's frustrating, I guess, because I do think this movie succeeds if you take it on its own terms, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think there were maybe some parts at the beginning that were supposed to be ominous that didn't quite hit me the same way it hit you.
Yeah.
But, like, as it went on, I thought it was very effective at being unsettling. So, oh well, I guess.
Yeah, so if you're a fan of movies or just film in general, you should probably watch this movie. But
It's very well made.
yes.
I'm really excited for what this guy's going to do for a Nosferatu remake.
Oh yeah, that is happening. But on the other hand, if you don't like being angry at people, don't go see this movie in theaters. I hate saying that, but just maybe you should wait for the DVD release.
I feel like the scary factor would probably increase if I was watching it by myself.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that gives you the feeling like, okay, shit.
Yeah. Black Phillip was the best. It's their goat.
But, so, what would we all rate this movie?
Yeah, so Patrick, if you don't know, our rating system is on a 0.5 scale from 0 to 5. 2.5 is average. That is, there was things about this movie I enjoyed and things about this movie I didn't like, and then it just kind of goes up from there. 5 is the best movie you've ever seen.
Okay.
Like, that is up
Well,
there.
maybe not the best you've ever seen, but like,
But just
real damn good.
Yeah, like that's like one of your favorite movies.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to go back and say what I said at the beginning. I'm a little biased because this is right up my alley. You know, with the history and the setting and the location. So I would probably say right around 4.5. I really enjoyed it. It was everything I was hoping it would be.
What would you say, Steven?
I'd probably go with a 4.5 as well. I really enjoyed it. I do think it took a little while to get going, and maybe that while that was semi-intentional, I was a little bit, I don't want to say bored, but not quite as engrossed as I wanted to be at times. But like once it got going, and like I still appreciate the cinematography and stuff and how well it was made and stuff, so it was fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 4.5 as well. It's just I enjoyed this thing a lot. Like it was nice looking. It freaked me out. The tension was great. Just acting was great. The accents were awesome. Like I felt like I was watching a movie in the 17th century, or well, not watching a movie in the 17th century, but I felt like I was in the 17th century just watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think movies in the 17th century were called books.
I'm sure they were.
But yeah, I would watch this again just because I kind of want to figure out what some of it means. So
Let's just get this out of the way. This is the worst date movie you could choose. So if you're going on a date, don't go to this movie.
This isn't some scary date movie you should go see. Don't do that.
This isn't the one make her scared and get up.
If you never want another date with this person, then go for it. Take them to see The Witch.
Yeah, go watch one of the Fuck You It's January scary movies if you really like. Go watch The Boy. Or wait till Halloween or something. Or wait till summer and catch The Conjuring 2. Do whatever the hell you want.
Go watch Deadpool. You know, I feel like The Conjuring is the last horror movie that people really agreed on.
I think it was too. I know there's a pretty... Because, yeah, It Follows had itself a fair...
That was a great movie.
Amount of bitching, too. That's,
It Follows a lot, but people had similar reactions, I guess.
It Follows was just a throwback. It was a throwback to, like, the old school 1979 vibe.
That's such a good soundtrack. Oh my god!
It had a great soundtrack.
I've talked to both of you about this, and both of you have enjoyed this a lot. I am planning on checking it out at some point, but I haven't watched it yet. But
yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of the horror movies that creep me out the most in a way.
Definitely.
Just that like relentless following you with those dead eyes and. Ugh.
The scary part is it doesn't really have any. I know we're talking about another movie now, but it doesn't have powers. It's not like a ghost. It doesn't walk through walls like it's a human. It breaks into your fucking house.
Oh man,
kill you.
About that movie now. God damn it. But yeah, also like the Babadook and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that Babadook was another one that people weren't super. There was a kind of a mismatch there of critics loved it. And people that liked film loved it, but general audiences just weren't.
Yeah. Babadook is more obvious in like its implication for what it stands for.
Yeah.
Because it's a theme overall, but I won't get into that.
And The Witch is a little bit that way too, though maybe not as much as a Babadook, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it is The Conjuring. Like I think The Conjuring was the last one everyone was just like, yeah, this is an awesome film.
I should watch that.
It's great.
Have you not watched it? Because that one's good.
I haven't watched it yet.
It was a good summer scary movie to go see. It was a lot of fun.
That's the movie that got rated R for scary. So that tells you what you need to know about that.
Yeah, I think the trailer for the next one looks pretty good.
I haven't seen that. Oh yeah, I did see the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer. I'm gonna watch that after we're done here.
Yeah. All right. So Go. The Witch is a solid film. Watch it.